Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out for our Tuesday, December 15th, 2020 meeting of the Michigan City Common Council. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Ms. Nyla, on the roll call, please.
Mr. Dabney.
Present.
Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Present.
Mr. Mack.
Present.
Ms. Deitch.
Here.
Mr. Don Prespolinski.
Present.
Mr. Paul Prespolinski. Mr. Simmons. Ms. Degas.
Present.
And Ms. Tillman.
Present.
So we have 7 present and 2 not being able to connect.
Okay, we have a quorum, so let's go ahead and get started. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of our December 1st meeting?
Yeah, Mr. President, I move that we motion to pass the minutes.
We have a motion to adopt the minutes as presented by Councilman Don Prespolinski. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilwoman Deitch. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay, Finance Committee report.
This is going to be good. I got scratch outs all over the place. All right. Here we go. Finance Committee meeting was called to order at 6:16 p.m. by Chairman Dabney to review claims filed since the last meeting. Committee members Tillman and Paul Prespolinski were present, as well as council members Nelson, Deitch, Mack, and Simmons. City Controller Yvonne Hoffmaster was in attendance, as well as City Attorney Jim Meyer. Claims reviewed total $9,016.98 Riverboat Fund and $340.73 EFT payments. And $75,000 from the Boyd Development Fund for a total docket of $84,357.71. There were other issues that were discussed in the meeting. Councilman Paul Prespolinski, or committee member Paul Prespolinski, brought up that he believes that the EDC MC Economic Development payment that is coming out tonight of $75,000 should come out of Riverboat rather than Boyd Development Fund. There were also questions in regards to a payment to Keesler Police Supply, Inc., $3,543.80. That was for ammunition. We'll address that when I read the totals down there. After those discussions, Councilwoman Tillman moved to recommend approval of the docket, minus the Keesler Police Supply, Inc. Payment of $3,500.43.80, and that was a second by Councilman Paul Prespolinski. The motion was approved unanimously. And then on a motion by Councilman Prespolinski and a second by Councilwoman Tillman, the meeting was adjourned at 6:38 p.m. And the summary of the claims are as follows. Acme Communications, $385. Comcast, $22.51. Domain Listings, $228 even. Haas and Associates LLC, $1,290 even. Sentinel Alarm Inc., $3,543.80. Star Uniform, $5,973.75. Verizon Wireless, $135.04. Great American Financial Services, $622.68. Comcast, again, for $129.69. And then Comcast again with $32.70. And Comcast Cable, $178.34. For a total from the Riverboat, $9,016.98, with $340.73 being EFT payments. For a total Riverboat docket payment of $9,357.71. For the Boyd Development Fund, the Michigan City Economic Development payment of $75,000 for a total of $75,000 from the Boyd Development, which constitutes a total claims docket of $84,357.71. And that concludes the Finance Committee meeting report.
Thank you, Councilman. The claims, December 15, 2020 Riverboat claim docket. Fund 2042 Riverboat claims, $9,016.98. EFT, $340.73. Foreign fund number 2031 Boyd claims, $75,000 for total claims of $84,357.71. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
I'll move.
Motion to approve the claims by Councilman Dabney. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Deitch. All in favor of approving the claims signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign. New business. FYI, the council has one appointment to the Social Status of African American Males Commission per ordinance 4548. Unfinished business. Council has two appointments to redevelopment commissions. Term expired 12/31/20. Incumbents John Sheets and Pat Kowalski. Nominations were Councilwoman Angie Dyke and Councilman Michael Mack. So are we voting on these tonight?
Yeah.
And what's the procedure for the votes, or how are we doing it? Is it individually, or since there are no other?
Well, I would think if I may, Mr. President, I would think since there's only two people running for the positions and we're filling two slots, that, you could vote unanimously, or if you want to take them one at a time.
Voice vote.
So is there any objections to approving these two by acclamation?
Nope.
If no, then someone make that motion.
Mr. President, did you say you made the motion, or?
No, I was calling for a motion.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we vote on these two appointments by acclamation, since the fact remains there's nobody else running except the two council members, and we're filling two positions on that board.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Don Prespolinski to approve the two appointments by acclamation. Is there a second?
Second.
We second by Councilwoman Tillman. All in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Congratulations, Councilwoman Deitch and Councilman Mack. Comments from the council.
Mr. President?
Councilman Prespolinski.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Councilman Mack, Councilwoman Deitch for being on the redevelopment commission. A couple items that I would like to see the redevelopment commission address now that you're on the council and you're on the redevelopment commission. And the number one item is the development and the movement of the Bloxham factory off of Trail Creek. And I know that's always been a secret position by the city because no one wants to talk about it, because it's consistently, what I hear, under litigation or in collective bargaining, whichever way you want to put it. And I know that redevelopment, and there's a lot of things in Michigan City that people think that we should be developing. But if you really take a look at it, this purchase was made, 10 years ago, say give or take a few years. The whole purpose was to develop Trail Creek, to have a river walk down there, to develop that property. And, we can put all the condos we want on Pine Street and we can brag about that. But if you really look at a true development that's really going to spark construction, people coming to town to want to see what Michigan City has to offer. To me, there's no greater piece of property in Michigan City than along that Trail Creek corridor, and working with Bloxham to get them to where we have to go. You know, whatever this contract is, and I don't know every detail behind it, but whatever moves were made 10 years ago, and if they weren't conducive to making a good business agreement, well, I think the city needs to step up and either swallow their pride or do what we have to do to garnish that property and develop this into something that we can be proud of. Otherwise, Bloxham is going to sit there, and we can put all the arborvitae plants up we want to try to hide them like the Redevelopment Commission did 5 years ago to hide the warehouse. But that's one of the things that I want to see done. Second thing deals with the safety of the children in Michigan City. And at our biggest park and playground that we have in Michigan City, and that's Washington Park, and that's Fetter's Alley. And I had addressed the Redevelopment Commission last year. I haven't pushed the idea this year because of the COVID-19 and all the other issues going on, is that I believe the Redevelopment Commission, since that's a TIF district, that area is in a TIF district, they can take their monies or go and coincide with the city to replace all this antiquated, outdated, subpar playground equipment that's not, number one, ADA compliant for anybody. Number two, some of that equipment is over 40 years old. I remember using some of those swings when I was a kid down in Fetter's Alley. It needs to be removed and new equipment put up. So that's another driving force that I'm going to have in 2021. And I'd like to see the Redevelopment Commission either get behind it, say, yeah, we can do it, we can't do it, legally we can do it, or legally we can't do it. But we need to make a push on making this playground equipment safe for the children that come down there. Next item, I want to thank Mr. John Sheets and Mr. Pat Kowalski, who were the two incumbent Redevelopment Commission board members that our two council members are replacing. I appreciate and want to thank them for their 2 years of service on the Redevelopment Commission, and they represented the city council, and I think they did a fantastic job. They said that they thought it was time for a change, so they didn't want to run again, but I just want to thank them for their outstanding service and always speaking their minds of what they thought should be done for the city. The next thing that I'd like to talk about, and Angie, if you want to chime in, you know, that's fine. And I wanted to talk about the money that we had just given away for the help grant program through the Redevelopment Commission, or through the state monies for the COVID-19 that we were given to the businesses. I can't remember, help me, Angie, I can't remember the exact proper name of the program.
The
Last Chance.
yeah, Final Last Chance.
Thank you. And I just wanted to mention that we had a meeting on December the 11th at 10 a.m. in the morning to approve the recipients of that $5,000. And I think there was a total, I don't have that number, but I believe there was a total of somewhere 50 different companies, give or take a few, that had applied for the money, and but due to the circumstances of not filling out the application properly or not getting it in on a timely fashion, that it boiled down to 8 companies or businesses in Michigan City that actually got the money for a total of $36,216 was awarded. So I think that's great. I want to thank Angie for putting that ordinance together, and the revolving loan committee for getting together and getting that taken care of. Hopefully, and we'll see what happens next year with the federal government funding. Hopefully, possibly we can do this another round of helping businesses out there. I think since they got through it the first time, maybe missed a few details here and there that they learned, and if this comes out again, that they'll be ready to go, and they know exactly what they have to do. The next thing is I was in attendance on the COVID-19 LaPorte County Zoom meeting last Thursday, and I heard what's going on in the county, and I believe that there have been over 6,000 cases of COVID-19 in LaPorte County, and 113 people have passed away from this horrid pandemic that we have. So I just want to express my condolences to all the families that have lost folks, and all the people that have been sick and have gotten back to being healthy. That 2021, hopefully we'll get this behind us. It's not going to get behind us right away. We have a ways to go yet, but we just have to be safe, diligent, wear our mask, and keep your distance and whatever the CDC says, because I don't believe it's a hoax, as some people said it was a hoax in the very beginning, to listen to what science has to say to get this taken care of. One more item, and that's with Stop 11, which I know has drawn a lot of attention, and even the council members, that I took a walk down there, and I looked at the spot that was dug out by the bulldozer or by the payloader, and the distance of that dig out was actually 450 feet long, 6 feet wide, and about 2.5 to 3 feet deep. So this isn't a little job that was done by a garden shovel in a matter of an hour or so. This was dramatic destruction of the Esplanade down there. And I'm hoping that Mr. Dabney and the park department and the attorney is going to be able to get some resolution and report back to the council, because I have people that are texting me wanting to know what's going on down there. And then finally, I want to wish all my colleagues on the city council and all the hard-working city workers throughout every department a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year, and appreciate everybody's hard work and effort. Oh, and especially the park department, Eddie Shin and Chris Kaufman, the maintenance supervisor, for the wonderful job they did this year down at Washington Park, setting the lights up for the light show in Washington Park. If you haven't been down there, please go down there. They did a fantastic job. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Prespolinski. Councilman Dabney.
All right. Real quick, just wanted to go and start what Don talked about with applying through the Esplanade down there. And you said you hope that Mr. Dabney and the park department can get a resolution to that. Yeah, I hope for the city's sake that we all can get a resolution to that. But I have not done and I've told the people out there that live out in Sheridan Beach out there in the first ward that This is being considered by our legal team at this point. So it doesn't make much sense for me to comment, talk about the things that I can and will do, because we're waiting to see what happens and what our legal team decides. I know there are people calling me, they want arrests to happen right now. So this is why I have not decided to speak out in public, because I do know this is under investigation and the legal team is looking at that. So that's one reason I didn't want to talk too much about that out in public. And then with the applications for the funding program, you said you had how many turned in, and then how many went through?
There was a total of, let's just say 50, and 8 went through. 8 were approved.
It was like 40 something. And I'll give you more details when I have my time to speak.
Yeah, because I was just wondering if who was responsible, like if somebody turned in an incorrect application, to call these people to have them corrected ahead of time, or do we have anything in place to do that?
I'll address it. A lot of that stuff did happen.
Okay. They just didn't respond. I wish we could have gotten more, because it was a good program. One thing I want to talk about is the way I've seen people talking about the whole eminent domain discussion that we had in regards to, what's happening with the NICD project and the parking garage over there. We were having a big discussion with NICD, and the way it was reported into the newspaper, it left out something very important. And I asked this question so I could get a response out of NICD, and hopefully it would have made the paper. When I asked, I said, the people want to know, is the little man going to be kicked out and not have anything done for them? Are they just going to be put off of their land and nothing happened to them? So the answer was, that responded to that, was that offers were made to the companies and to the houses along 11th and everywhere else down there. So the people could have taken money, market value funds, and they would have had relocation expenses and everything done as well. But that did not make it into the newspaper. When I read the article, I didn't see that. So I saw a couple of things pop up on Facebook that the city council's pushing people out of their homes and leaving them with nothing. So I really wanted to clear that up, that the process was for a third-party negotiator to go in there and offer funds to businesses to help with relocation expenses. Those offers are still on the table as well. But now we've just given authority to the Redevelopment Commission to use eminent domain. I hope it really doesn't come to all of it. I hope we can figure this thing out and get these people money to help with their relocation expenses so that their businesses are up and running somewhere else here in Michigan City. And then I saw a big conversation. This is just stuff I wanted to clear up because people were calling me about it, and I told them I would discuss it. When we talked about the resolution with $200,000 for salaries, and the explanation, I thought it was done pretty well in the paper, but a lot of people may not have seen that. But what happened was budget books were created for us, for the council people to see. The budget books were ready to go out. But then the mayor, at the time, Mayor Muir decided that he wanted to go 1% raise to the employees. So they didn't have time to go and adjust every single department for the 1% raises. So $200,000 was put into a fund to be able to transfer and to cover. And so it made it look as though, or people were getting the impression that we didn't have the funds to even pay our salaries. And that's not the way it really was. It was just a late change. So everything, the whole budget wasn't able to be corrected in time. Like I said, the budget books were all ready to be submitted to the council members to review. So then when time comes, we had to transfer the funds in to cover those salaries. But some people were mistaking that by saying we just didn't have the money. The city is so broke that we couldn't pay salaries. And that's not the way it went. So I really wanted to explain that. So those are the things I wanted to address real quick, just to try to clear up. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas here. So this 2020 finally, gladly, will be under the rug now. We can move on to 2021. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Anybody that's watching and listening, Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dabney. Councilwoman Deitch.
A couple of things. Redevelopment Commission had a meeting this week, and I wanted to share that they took some of the things that Councilman Chris Belinsky said to heart. They did send a certified letter to one of the business owners and went and spoke to the business owner, had a good conversation with him about the property. That was Attorney Saranac who did that. And also, I think there is some confusion. I think that BLM, who has been handling the communication, could have done a better job. I think we have to push them to do what we've asked them to do and what they're supposed to do. I don't know if they're not having any issues out west, but I think we need to demand that of them, because there are some tenants in there that are have some questions, and there's a little confusion in that station block, who aren't owners of those buildings but are tenants of those buildings, and there are services for them and financial considerations for them as well. And I know Councilman Fitzpatrick, when we walked those streets and delivered those notices back in the spring, that it said that renters had, options as well. So that goes for all of them. And I think BLM needs to take additional hard look on how they're communicating with these tenants. So that's one item. On the Fighting Chance Fund, there are a couple of things. I spoke to both of the business owners who sent emails out. And again, when this was created, it was back in the spring. Before, we didn't realize that the federal government wasn't going to do anything for another 9 months, right? So it was more restrictive because of that. But there was also some confusion that I still think we could have given 5 other businesses money. But the attorney said that because of the way the ordinance was written and the attachment as far as the application, if someone is a sole proprietor, they will not have an entity report. And, so I think there could have been consideration. We've done things before. I think it's a shame that we couldn't have that meeting and that it was canceled on Monday. But I think we can make it better. We know, where improvements need to be made. They did make attempts, and they did speak to several of the business owners. I will say that as a grant, it was a reimbursement grant. So I believe that some people thought it was just a grant, but they had to turn in receipts. And that was where there was some discrepancies. But again, I think there was an opportunity for some additional businesses to be funded, and we missed that opportunity. I do plan on reaching out to the Urban Enterprise Zone. They need to become active again. They haven't had a meeting since March of this year, and they do have some funds there that are for, homeowners and businesses within those districts. And a lot of these businesses that hit that bubble, those few, are within the urban enterprise zone as well. So I don't know, what's going on. I know we have some appointments we need to deal with, but that board has to step up to the plate and get some of that funding out into the community as well. So I just wanted to make sure I provided an update on that. I don't really have anything. The Fire Merit Commission set up a special meeting on Monday to talk about testing. It was at the same time as the Redevelopment Commission. I have a concern there with the Fire Merit Commission. I'm just going to put it out there, and I've shared this with the president there, that we need to help them. And I told them I'm willing to do a workshop with them on technology. They're meeting in person because they don't have access or don't know how to access Zoom. And I think that maybe we need to do some type of workshops with some of our boards and commissions to help them with that process moving forward, because I think we're going to be in this mode for another 6 months, or give or take. So we need to figure out how we're going to assist them with that, because I know that that's an issue for them. But other than that, happy holidays to everybody. Again, I just want to thank those businesses who applied. Don't be discouraged. We're going to look for other ways to help you. Hopefully there's another CARES package, but outside of that, again, my apologies for the restrictiveness of that, of the funding and how it played out. But hopefully we can get you some assistance here soon, as we want to see you here and we don't want you to leave. So have a Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody else.
Thank you, Councilwoman Deitch. Councilwoman Jigus.
Aye.
I just want to talk to you a little bit. I sent the council and the city administration an email, a couple of emails actually, regarding our website. I really think that we need to take this opportunity to really step it up. People are looking there. I've gotten several calls from residents, new business owners, people willing to invest. They can't find anything on the website. And if you've tried to look for information there, you'll know exactly what I mean. They want to know what ward they live in. Our ward maps weren't live. You know, all these grants that we offer, the facade grant, the upper story apartment grant, those were not available online. And, you know, we had a very robust website in the past. We had hundreds and hundreds of documents up on there, and it didn't look nice, et cetera. But now with this new website, all those documents have vanished. And I think we really do need to make it a priority to get that website back up and running and get information up there. This is what new residents and new businesses and people looking to invest in Michigan City are looking at to see what it's like. And it's very unprofessional. We need a professional web designer to run it. And I know we've spent a lot of money in the past, and I'm not sure right now, like, you know, what's happening with developing it, because I really think it is not something to be proud of. All of our partners, EDCMC and the Chamber, they can't link to our site because we have no information there. So, you know, I hope that we can make it a priority next year and do something to spruce it up. We should be able to get permits. We should be able to get business licenses and things like that just by clicking online. And the fact that we don't is just we're not taking initiative. So that's kind of what I have to say. I'm really hoping we can get that website back to a robust site. And I also want to wish everyone happy holidays, happy New Year.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Tillman.
Thank you. I just wanted to add on to Councilwoman Deitch Nelson. I didn't know if you had an opportunity to see the press release from December 7th, where Lieutenant Governor Susan Crouch and the Indiana Office of the Community and Rural Affairs, OCRA, announced a third phase of the COVID-19 response grants. And if not, I'll forward that email, that link to you. And to everyone, have a blessed and a Merry Christmas, and enter into 2021 with a positive outlook. As you know, as my grandmother would say, this too shall pass, and blessings to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other council comments?
Yeah, Mr. President.
Councilman Preselinski.
Yeah. Councilwoman Tillman, if you would you also send that information to myself? Because I had State Representative Pressel. He was talking last Thursday on that COVID-19 Zoom meeting, and he mentioned that, but he didn't mention any details. So I called him yesterday, and his staff assistant is supposed to be sending me information on that. So yeah, I'd like to, and I'm hoping that the city administration has gotten information on that and looking to see what they can use out, or what the city's going to be able to use out of that funding. Yeah, and get on top of it early. And yeah, and just in Councilwoman Deitch, if I may, just a comment, because since I'm the chairman of the revolving loan committee, and I headed that meeting up, and I know that you had mentioned those 5 businesses that did not get any funding. The reason behind that, and I know I called you and asked you to give me a call, but the reason behind that is that the Economic Development Corporation had sent out emails to these companies. They had called these companies trying to get them to respond back by Friday. We were meeting on Wednesday. They wanted them to respond back on Friday, and they hadn't heard a thing in a week from these companies. And that's why those companies did not qualify, because they didn't even respond back after we're spending all this time trying to reach out. So it was my opinion and the opinion of the board members, because they all voted the same. We all voted the same, not to give those 5 companies the money, is because if they didn't want to take the initiative to get this paperwork in, to at least call back, to at least respond back to an email that, yeah, we're working on it, we're going to get it back, then it tells me that they really, and this is just my opinion, is that they really weren't that concerned about it. And I don't think they should have any heartache about what took place, because that's the information I was given by Clarence and
There's
his
a little
staff.
bit more to it, because some of those businesses did speak to them multiple times. And if you leave town and you're dealing with something, you're not in town, they should know that. So all I'm saying is that some of those businesses did speak to them multiple times, but they still were, there were some questions, like I said. And I think we've learned a lesson from it, and I'm not going to down these businesses who put forth the effort. I'm just saying that there's a little bit more to it, and there were some back and forth with some of those individual businesses that were denied. So I just think that I know to do my homework and my research the next time to do it better.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you an explanation of why.
Yeah, I watched it. But yeah, there was a little bit more back and forth. I don't think it was just them ignoring it, because they had spoke to the EDC team a couple of times. So I just don't want the businesses to be discouraged moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Mack.
I just want to acknowledge that this is the last meeting for 2020, and say happy holidays to all you council people and the residents of Michigan City. Thank you, Sean, for taking the helm of this 2020 and all of the chaos that we've had. Like a champ, and to all of us, this has been a difficult year for everybody, and we've embodied 3 things that I think we really need to get real good at next year in this conversation that we've just had. Technology, training, and development. The whole city needs that. I mean, our young people need to believe that Michigan City is a place that they want to live when they get older. We've got to try to change that dynamic to where you graduate high school and you don't want to come back. Entrepreneurship, development, training of those people, and our services. So 2021 is going to be a challenge for the entire world. We're not special. We just got to get better. And people expect that, and they've got to get better. We all have got to get better in this new world we're living in. So have a good holiday, enjoy, and we're back at it next month. So.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other council comments? Councilman Simmons?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, I apologize for not being able to pull up, but I was having technical difficulties. I I was watching the whole meeting, but I just could not pull up the video of myself. I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays and Godspeed. Don't forget to wear your mask, social distancing, and pray for vaccinations.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other council comments? Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. I just want to say thank you to all of you. You guys have all been a pleasure to work with. I know some of us were on last year, and for many of us, this was the first year doing this. And despite all of the challenges we had and the difficulties of dealing with the COVID pandemic and everything going on with that, I think we still did a pretty good job of moving the city business forward. I want to thank the clerks because they do an outstanding job of making sure that we're informed and the information from the public gets to us and we're able to get it out to the rest of the administration and department heads. So those ladies definitely need appreciation because they do a job that makes our job possible. So definitely want to give them a quick shout out. And to everyone else, just make sure that we know that the vaccinations are coming through and it's not over until it's over. So keep, give each other some space and just be mindful of your own personal hygiene and the people around you. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we see the daylight coming. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and see you guys next year. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Prespolinski, Councilwoman Deitch. Is there a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey.
Aye. Night, everyone.
Good night.
Right.